One of the most common questions I get, especially from thoughtful young adults, is this: how do I know if I'm actually ready to date? And usually what they mean is, do I need to have my life together first? Do I need to be a super Christian? Do I need to be less lonely, less insecure, less complicated? Here's the big idea I want to give you right up front. Readiness for dating isn't about having your life together. It's about being emotionally available, spiritually anchored, and relationally honest. Not perfect, available. A lot of Christians get stuck here, namely, before we start. Some of us delay dating because we think we need to be fixed first. Others of us rush into dating because we're trying to escape loneliness. But here's the thing, both of these are forms of avoidance. If I delay, I'm avoiding vulnerability by waiting forever. If I rush in, I'm avoiding vulnerability by attaching too quickly. Either way, we're avoiding vulnerability. This is where I was. Throughout my 20s, dating felt so scary. It's putting yourself on display so that someone can reject you. So I likely erred on the side of delaying dating because I was scared. Versus friends I have who erred on the side of rushing in because they also were scared of being alone and wanted a girlfriend to solve their problems. So how do we know when we're ready to date? When are we willing to be vulnerable and go for it? This episode is about reframing our readiness. Let's get into it. First, in order to be ready for dating, you have to be clear on what dating is. Dating is not emotional dependency. It's not physical validation. It's not relational codependence. What is it? Dating is exploration for marriage. It's a discernment process. You're asking questions like, can we build a shared life together? Can we grow spiritually together? Can we navigate conflict, limits, and differences with maturity? In fact, Biola University professor Ken Birding, who's mentored decades of young men and women, has put together 25 questions you should ask yourself when you're interested in dating somebody. We'll include them in the description in the show notes here. If you're dating mainly to feel chosen, or to feel a rush of attraction, or just to not feel alone, that's not exploration, that's escape. Readiness begins when you understand dating as discernment, not self-soothing. You're in the dating game to discern if you can marry this person, and that can be done even if you aren't perfect. Now, let's clear away a few myths. In order to date well, you do not need zero insecurity, total freedom from loneliness, a clear timeline toward marriage. If those were the requirements, nobody would ever date. Readiness doesn't mean you don't feel these things. It means you're not letting them drive the relationship. So feel free to bust some of those myths. Instead, here are 3 indicators I often look for pastorally. First, can you enjoy someone without needing them to save you? You like them, you're drawn to them, but you're not outsourcing your joy or your identity or your healing to them. They add to your life, but they're not the center of it. Second, can you receive feedback in the relationship without spiraling? When something's hard, when there's tension, you don't immediately collapse into shame or defensiveness, whether it's from your date or from a friend or family member speaking in. You can stay present, you can listen, you can grow. That's emotional availability, and it's healthy. You're willing to hear how you can do better. Third, can you be honest about your limits, desires, and fears? You don't oversell yourself. You don't hide the hard parts about yourself, and you don't pretend you're more ready or less ready than you are. Instead, you're honest. Honesty is not weakness, it's maturity. Honesty allows people to know and then love the real you. This doesn't mean that you have to share your darkest secrets on the first coffee date, but it does mean that you're not gonna hide in the relationship. Fourth, and I think the most important, can you keep your identity rooted in God and not this person? I want to give you this one verse to remember when you're dating. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You're not your own, for you were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body. This verse simply reminds us of 2 things if you're a Christian. You now belong completely to God, and so glorify God in your body. You don't belong to your boyfriend. You belong to God. You can't just do whatever feels good with your body. You're duty-bound to use your body for God's glory, which will always end up for your good and for the good of others. Don't let the temptations of dating make you compromise. Remember that you're God's. He loves you more than anyone ever will. So use your body for worship and for love. Would you like the bottom line here? Here's the big question you have to think about. Am I dating to share life or to escape it? That one question reveals a lot. Do I already have a life that I'm cultivating with God and I want to share that with another person? Or am I trying to escape my life and feel like I have to have another person to do that? Girlfriends and boyfriends are terrible saviors, but they can become great partners. So here's the final thought. Don't avoid vulnerability. Dating is scary because you have to be vulnerable. You have to start showing your life to another person you care about. But even before that, you have to open up your life to God for Him to take inventory and help you be ready to love someone. And there's the goal. Vulnerability is good because it lets us love. We can only love another person being truly ready to date when we've received God's deep love for us, so that we can then love them and grow and how to love them better and better over time. What's your next step? Share your life this week. Find one way that you can share your life with someone of the opposite sex. Maybe it's taking someone on a date to encourage them, ask about them, and pay for the meal. Maybe it's just offering a friend some encouragement. Or maybe it's opening up in your co-ed small group. When we practice vulnerability that is focused on others, we become people who are more ready to do that in a long-term relationship. And let us know here in the comments or on social media how you're seeing God prepare you for dating. If this video has been helpful, share it with a friend who's figuring out their dating. I'd love for you to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get more resources just like this as soon as they drop. And if you want first access to Binmin resources, just go to binmin.org and sign up for our newsletter where you'll get resources to help you take your next step in your spiritual life. Until next time, God bless.